Picture this. 730 women are currently living beneath the ocean's surface for months at a time. They're sharing cramped quarters and facilities with over 100 men. They sleep in spaces barely larger than coffins, and they cannot step outside, see daylight, or breathe fresh air for 3 to 6 months straight. These aren't captives. They're America's elite submarine warriors. Right now, as you're watching this, more than 700 women are serving aboard 38 different submarines across the globe. They're nuclear engineers, sonar operators, weapons specialists, and commanding officers. Each mission keeps them submerged for anywhere from 90 days to half a year, trapped inside a metal tube with up to 150 male crew members. The USS New Jersey recently became the first American submarine designed specifically for mixed-gender crews from the very beginning. But here's the part that'll surprise you. Female submariners actually have a 75% re-enlistment rate. That's 1 percentage point higher than their male counterparts at 74%. So how exactly do these women not just survive, but actually thrive in what might be the most challenging military environment on Earth? The answer involves incredible mental toughness, revolutionary engineering, and a culture transformation that took over a decade to perfect. Before we dive deeper, make sure you're subscribed to our channel for more incredible stories about America's hidden heroes. First one, the reality of life in a steel coffin. Step inside the USS Missouri during a typical 6-month patrol. The first thing that strikes you isn't the advanced technology. It's how impossibly cramped everything feels. This nuclear submarine stretches 337 feet from bow to stern. Sounds massive, right? Think again. Nearly 1/3 of that entire length is consumed by the nuclear reactor and propulsion machinery. What remains must house between 130 and 150 crew members for months without relief. Your personal living space? A narrow bunk stacked 3 high, squeezed into a corridor barely wide enough for 2 people to pass. Submariners call these sleeping quarters aluminum coffins, for good reason. You get exactly 5 inches of storage space beneath your mattress for everything you'll need during the entire deployment. Your uniforms, personal photographs, books, toiletries, and any comfort items from home must all fit in that tiny compartment. During one recent patrol, the USS Missouri spent 163 days completely submerged out of a total 181-day mission. That means for over 5 consecutive months, the crew experienced 0 natural sunlight, no fresh outdoor air, and virtually no contact with the outside world except during the 18 days they surfaced. Privacy, as most people understand it, simply doesn't exist. Officers might share a stateroom with 2 other people, and they literally cannot all stand up simultaneously without colliding. Enlisted personnel sleep in berthing areas with rows of bunks separated only by thin curtains, at least until very recently. Communication with family happens exclusively when the submarine surfaces to periscope depth. Email messages are exchanged perhaps 20 times during an entire 6-month deployment. Every single transmission risks revealing the submarine's location to potential enemies. So maintaining radio silence isn't just policy, it's survival. Yet here's what makes submariners truly special. Every single person aboard volunteered for this assignment. Nobody forced them into this lifestyle. That shared commitment to voluntary service creates something remarkable, a brotherhood and sisterhood forged through mutual sacrifice. Breaking through the ultimate boys' club. The year 2010 marked a turning point in naval history. Defense Secretary Robert Gates announced that the decades-old ban preventing women from serving aboard submarines would finally be lifted. But the real challenge was just beginning. The first female officers reported to Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines in 2011. These weren't compact attack submarines. They were the largest vessels in America's underwater fleet, specifically chosen because they offered more space and multiple bathroom facilities that could be modified for mixed-gender crews. Lieutenant Commander Andrea Howard and Lieutenant Commander Emma McCarthy were among those pioneering officers. They confronted obstacles that male submariners never had to consider. Equipment designed around average male height and strength, periscopes positioned too high for shorter operators, and valve systems requiring significant upper body power to operate effectively. But these women didn't request special accommodations. Instead, they adapted. They mastered the same rigorous training programs as their male colleagues. They earned their dolphins, the prestigious insignia worn exclusively by qualified submariners. They became full members of the submarine community. The real breakthrough occurred when enlisted women joined the force in 2015. Chief Petty Officer Angela Kugler made history in 2022 by becoming the first female chief of the boat, the senior enlisted advisor to the commanding officer, and one of the most respected positions on any submarine. By 2024, the statistics tell an incredible story. 87 female officers and 400 enlisted women joined the submarine force that year alone. This represents 20% of all officer accessions and nearly 10% of enlisted accessions, the largest single-year increase since integration began. But here's the truly remarkable part. Women aren't merely surviving in this environment. They're excelling. Female officers demonstrate a retention rate for department head positions that's actually higher than their male peers. Enlisted women re-enlist at that 75% rate we mentioned earlier, compared to 74% for men. The United States Navy expects to commission its first female submarine commanding officer by 2028. These aren't participation awards. These are combat leadership positions earned through merit and exceptional performance. Engineering a revolution. September 14, 2024, marked a historic milestone. The USS New Jersey became the first submarine in American history, designed from the ground up with complete gender integration in mind. This wasn't about retrofitting existing designs. This was about reimagining what a modern submarine could become. The most obvious change? Doors. Lots and lots of doors. Where previous submarines relied on curtains for privacy, the New Jersey features solid, lockable doors throughout. Berthing areas now include separate sections with proper privacy barriers. Washrooms incorporate additional partitions and enhanced privacy features. But the modifications extend far beyond simple privacy concerns. Overhead valves were repositioned lower and redesigned for easier operation. Steps were installed in front of triple-stacked bunks and washing machines. These might seem like minor details, but they make an enormous difference during a 3-month patrol. The submarine's medical facilities received comprehensive upgrades to address women's specific health requirements. This includes specialized medication storage, proper disposal systems for feminine hygiene products, and detailed protocols for pregnancy-related medical situations that might arise during deployment. Virginia-class submarines typically feature 4 officer staterooms with 3 bunks each, 12 sleeping quarters total for officers. Since most submarines carry more than 12 officers, junior officers often bunk with enlisted crew members. The New Jersey's design ensures this arrangement functions smoothly for both men and women. The Columbia-class ballistic missile submarines, America's newest strategic deterrent platform, will incorporate all these integration improvements. They'll even include adjustable step stools, so shorter sailors can operate periscope systems effectively. These submarines represent a $3 billion investment in gender equality. More importantly, they represent recognition that diverse crews are simply more effective crews. Different perspectives solve complex problems more efficiently. Varied experiences create stronger, more adaptable teams. The unwritten rules of underwater survival. How do you maintain psychological stability when you're confined underwater with 150 people for 3 months? Submariners have developed an intricate social code that makes survival possible. Rule number 1, absolutely no political discussions. Political debates are strictly forbidden aboard submarines. In a confined environment where tensions can explode without warning, avoiding divisive topics maintains essential peace. Rule number 2, silence is golden. No door slamming, no loud conversations, no unnecessary noise whatsoever. Someone is always attempting to sleep because submarines operate continuously with rotating shifts around the clock. Rule number 3, personal space is sacred. In an environment where physical personal space doesn't exist, you create it through mutual respect. You never touch someone else's belongings without permission. You don't enter someone's sleeping area uninvited. You provide people mental space even when physical space is impossible. Women have contributed their own survival strategies to this established code. Female submariners frequently form informal support networks. Senior women mentor junior women, sharing practical advice about everything from uniform modifications to managing the unique challenges of being significantly outnumbered. The buddy system operates differently for women. Male submariners might release stress through physical competition or rough humor. Female submariners often employ different stress management techniques: reading, journaling, quiet conversations, and maintaining emotional connections with home whenever communication is possible. Sleep becomes an incredibly precious resource. Submariners work 8-hour shifts, but that doesn't guarantee 8 hours of rest. Maintenance requirements, training exercises, emergency drills, and general quarters can interrupt sleep at any moment. Women submariners have mastered the art of maximizing rest whenever opportunities arise. Food plays a crucial role in maintaining morale. Submarine cooks are renowned as among the finest in the entire Navy because excellent meals represent one of the few consistent pleasures available during deployment. Female submariners often appreciate culinary variety more than their male counterparts, who might focus primarily on quantity. Exercise typically occurs in the torpedo room when it's not being utilized for weapon storage. Creative fitness routines using submarine equipment help maintain both physical conditioning and mental resilience. Women frequently organize group exercise sessions that build camaraderie while keeping everyone physically fit. Confronting the dark side. Not every integration story represents a success. The process of bringing women into submarine service hasn't been without serious problems and setbacks. During the early years, particularly between 2011 and 2015, several disturbing incidents occurred involving female crew members being secretly recorded by male colleagues in showers and changing areas. These weren't minor disciplinary violations. These were criminal acts that resulted in formal investigations, courts-martial, and dismissals from naval service. The Royal Navy faced even more severe allegations in 2024. An internal investigation uncovered widespread sexual harassment, bullying, and even allegations of sexual assault within portions of their submarine service. Women reported being subjected to degrading treatment, unwanted physical contact, and retaliation for reporting incidents. But here's what distinguishes the American submarine force: decisive leadership response. When problems emerged, they were addressed directly and comprehensively. Zero-tolerance policies were implemented and rigorously enforced. Cultural sensitivity training became mandatory for all personnel. The message from senior leadership was crystal clear: harassment would terminate careers. The United States Navy learned valuable lessons from these early challenges. They implemented comprehensive training programs for all crew members. Sexual harassment prevention became an integral part of submarine qualification training. Reporting procedures were streamlined and protected from retaliation. Senior leadership accepted personal responsibility for cultural transformation. When problems arose, commanders were held directly accountable. Culture change became recognized as a command responsibility, not just a policy issue. Female submariners themselves became active participants in the solution. They spoke up when witnessing inappropriate behavior. They supported each other through difficult situations. They demonstrated that women could handle both the physical and mental demands of submarine service while maintaining their dignity and professionalism. The results speak volumes. Retention rates for women continue exceeding those of men. Promotion rates remain competitive. And most importantly, mission effectiveness has improved with diverse crews bringing different skills and perspectives to complex operational challenges. The human stories behind the statistics. Behind every statistic lies a real human story with genuine struggles and triumphs. Meet Chief Logistics Specialist Samantha Mincy, a Los Angeles native who enlisted in the Navy 16 years ago. When she first joined, women weren't permitted on submarines at all. She never imagined she would eventually become the senior enlisted female on a submarine crew. "I personally never envisioned myself in the submarine force," Mincy explained. "When I enlisted, women weren't allowed on submarines. I never anticipated that women would be accepted on submarines while I was still serving." Mincy represents thousands of women who discovered opportunities they never expected. She began her naval career on aircraft carriers before transitioning to submarine operations. The skills she developed on surface vessels translated perfectly to underwater service. Lieutenant Victoria Meyer graduated from the Naval Academy in 2019, originally planning to become a naval aviator. However, when the Navy increased submarine opportunities for women, she found her true calling beneath the waves. "It's the people who drew me in," she said, "the people who really make me proud to wear dolphins." Meyer served aboard the USS New Jersey when there were only 2 female officers total. She's witnessed the transformation firsthand and helped establish policies for future generations. These women face identical challenges as their male counterparts, plus additional obstacles unique to their situation. They must prove themselves twice, once as competent submariners and once as women entering a traditionally male-dominated environment. They carry the hopes and expectations of future generations of female submariners. The USS Wyoming made headlines when 15 enlisted women completed the first all-female deterrent patrol in submarine history. These women, ranging from junior sailors to senior chiefs, demonstrated that gender integration wasn't merely possible, it was highly effective. Their performance metrics tell the complete story. Training completion rates for women match or exceed those of men. Equipment failure rates show no difference between male and female operators. And mission success rates remain at 100% for submarines with integrated crews. The strategic future. The submarine force is rapidly expanding its integration program. Current plans call for 39 integrated boat crews by 2033, increased from the original goal of 33 by 2030. This expansion reflects the program's success and the Navy's confidence in mixed-gender submarine crews. All future Virginia-class attack submarines and Columbia-class ballistic missile submarines will be constructed with gender integration as a fundamental design principle. The era of retrofitting existing submarines is ending. New construction means purpose-built equality from the very beginning. The strategic importance cannot be overstated. America's submarine force represents the most powerful and technologically advanced underwater fleet in the world. These submarines execute the most sensitive and critical missions in the United States military: strategic nuclear deterrence, intelligence gathering, special operations support, and sea control across global waters. Adding women to these crews isn't primarily about fairness, although fairness certainly matters. It's fundamentally about operational effectiveness. Diverse teams consistently solve complex problems more efficiently. Different perspectives identify risks that others might overlook. Varied backgrounds contribute creative solutions to challenging operational scenarios. The Navy has discovered that submarines with integrated crews frequently outperform all male crews in training exercises. Communication becomes more professional. Teamwork improves significantly. The focus shifts from social dynamics to pure mission accomplishment. This transformation extends beyond individual submarines to encompass the entire submarine community. Standards remain exceptionally high, but culture has evolved positively. Professional behavior is expected and consistently enforced. Merit determines advancement opportunities, not gender. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're finding these stories about America's underwater heroes fascinating. 730 women are proving every single day that courage, skill, and unwavering dedication recognize no gender boundaries whatsoever. They're serving in the most demanding environment within the United States military, excelling at the highest operational levels and paving the way for countless future generations. These aren't stories about surviving despite being women. These are stories about succeeding because they're outstanding submariners who happen to be women. They've earned their positions through identical rigorous training, the same uncompromising standards, and the same absolute commitment to excellence as every submariner before them. The first female submarine commanding officer will assume command in 2028. She'll lead a crew of both men and women united by their voluntary commitment to serve America beneath the waves. That moment will mark not just a milestone for women in military service, but a victory for American naval excellence itself. Thanks for watching this deep dive into America's underwater heroes. If this opened your eyes to the incredible service of our female submariners, smash that like button and subscribe for more stories about the brave Americans defending our nation.